I was recently blessed with a rather long local set between an Alice and a Sakuya that is fairly recent. One thing I noticed, interestingly enough, about the Sakuya is due to both of these players being around mid-level, there's a little bit of inconsistency in the spell card usage. Now, given that it's such a long set, we can really dive into a detailed analysis of these two spell cards from Sakuya, Private Square and Killing Doll. The first thing I'll bring your attention to is the very weird starter to this Killing Doll here. Notice how there isn't a 100% limit, and we're also in Diamond Dust. So Muii actually backdashes, expecting a tech out, which is a just straight up wrong decision. In Diamond Dust you can't do anything other than no tech. Also, in addition to that, the ender for the combo afterwards was a J6A, which doesn't allow for much meter usage. A better one would have been 6-6A into 6-2-3-B. No comment. Now this was a solid combo starter, honestly. It has a 6-6-A, 6-2-3 that I mentioned before, and one thing you'll notice is that jab right before the Killing Doll actually makes it so that Sakuya doesn't have quite enough time, so there needs to be a bit of a dash up. At that point, the move is a little more telegraphed, and 2A is one of your only options there, which makes right blocking it easier. Now, Majin Miku mashed anyway, which led to him getting hit. However, the right block, wrong block scenario there was very solid by Muii. So this is already looking like a pretty strong starter. The 6-2-3 ender, we've seen it before. This is basically your best option. The 2 card comes out. We get a right block already. The 5B and the J2A is also right blocked. Now the interesting thing about this, there are so many options to border escape in this string. You could have border escaped after the J2A. And I think the main reason why Muii does not use any 6-2-3s after the J2A is because I never see Majin ever border escape it. He should have done that more. Let this be a lesson to all of you. Please don't just use 2 card. It can be mashed if you use it too late. See, 6-6-A comes out, and then you can just dash through it. Now this is pretty much a picture perfect okizeme, and I had to include that first bit because don't air tag versus Sakuya. The 3A will catch you and you will be sad, because look what happens here. First of all, don't use that 2 card, use the other one so you have the other 2 card available. Second of all, see we have 1 wrong block, so the charge 6C will crush. Now this J2A was definitely weird, but it didn't matter. This is your public service announcement to please not mash in Private Square, because this might happen, and nobody wants this to happen. That was a bad ender. Now this one's a little bit more interesting because a neutral Private Square can be kind of hit or miss, and here it's a little bit of hit, it's a little bit of miss, because we can see that he gets a hit in, but doesn't actually get to go into anywhere. Now we see another Private Square. It's kind of strange, because if you hit this frame 1 it works, but it's also kind of easy to not have it work. Now the interesting thing about this particular string here is you'll see that the killing doll actually activates very, very far away from the screen. And this has a kind of a twofold effect. One, it means that Alice thinks that she has more space to get away, but Sakuya can abuse the stupid hitbox on J8A, and she can't actually get away. I also forgot to mention there was another killing doll here. Picture perfect, and it ends the round. As we're seeing with Private Square, a lot of its uses in neutral are for fast maneuverability, which leads to this air unblockable setup, which I think is pretty neat. Majin definitely could have border escaped here, right after the J2A, but this was pretty solid from Muii. The coin was definitely a bad idea. He also could have used the killing doll here. Now, this is just the worst feeling. So, the ender for the combo is fine, but you see as Sakuya gets close here. The charge 60, it looks so great, but it just whiffs. Okay, I hope you learned something about Sakuya. Don't do things too late and don't do things too early, and hit all your buttons right. Bye!